Hi boys and girls, how are you today? I was wondering if you wanted to sing a song with me today. I was trying to think of a song that we haven't sung yet, and I thought of the bird song. You remember that song? Two little birdies sitting on a wall, one named Peter, one named Paul. Fly away Peter, fly away Paul, come back Peter, come back Paul. I knew you remember that song. So now I was wondering if you want me to sing your name and you can fly away. Fly away and see if you can come back by the time I say come back and call your name, okay? Three little bluebirds sitting on a wall, Sylvia and Josie and Luca. Fly away Sylvia and Josie, fly away Luca. Come back Sylvia and Josie, come back Luca. Three little bluebirds sitting on a wall, Charlie and Ezra and Leo. Fly away Charlie and Ezra, fly away Leo. Come back Charlie and Ezra, come back Leo. Three little bluebirds sitting on a wall, Matilda, Oben and Arthur. Fly away Matilda and Oben, fly away Arthur. Come back Matilda and Oben, come back Arthur. Three little bluebirds sitting on a wall, Sammy and Wally and Nora. Fly away Sammy and Wally, fly away Nora. Come back Sammy and Wally, come back Nora. Three little bluebirds sitting on a wall, Luna, Paloma, and Iris. Fly away Luna and Paloma, fly away Iris. Come back Luna and Paloma, come back Iris. Three little bluebirds sitting on a wall, Grace and Sulo and Ina. Fly away Grace and Sulo, fly away Ina. Come back Grace and Sulo, come back Ina. Three little bluebirds sitting on a wall, Maggie and Henry and Ocean. Fly away Maggie and Henry, fly away Ocean. Come back Maggie and Henry, come back Ocean. Three little bluebirds sitting on a wall, Max and Dylan and Archer. Fly away Max and Dylan, fly away Archer. Come back Max and Dylan, come back Archer. Was that fun? Did you run far? Did you fly back fast? Okay, now I was thinking we could read some stories. And I have one that we love. Going to the dentist. Just going to the dentist. Has anyone been to the dentist lately? I don't think so. Steve was supposed to go the other day, but we thought about it and we thought maybe it's not a good time to go to the dentist. Because when you're at the dentist, you have your mouth open for a long time. I'm having some trouble turning the camera here. Ugh, it doesn't want to turn. There we go. You'll be able to see the book much better this way. So anyway, he didn't go to the dentist. Maybe in a couple of months. Just going to the dentist. Oh, look, his tongue is sticking out of his mouth funny. Ugh. He must have gotten a shot of that stuff that makes your tongue feel funny. Mom took me to the dentist. She said I needed a checkup. I didn't need a checkup. My teeth were just fine. But we went anyway. At the dentist's office, we met the nurse. She gave us a great big smile. I think she was showing off her teeth. The dentist wasn't ready to see me, so we sat in the waiting room. Other kids were there too. One of the bigger kids had wires all over her teeth. Mom said they were braces. I thought they were neat. I hoped I would get braces. We had to wait a long time, but there were toys to play with and books to read. When it was my turn, the nurse came to get me. I had to see the dentist all by myself, but I didn't mind too much. We went into a really weird room. It looked like a spaceship. I sat in a funny chair. It was called a dentist chair. The nurse put a bib on me. Then the nurse said that she was going to clean my teeth. It tickled a lot. She told me to spit in the sink. No grown-up had ever asked me to spit before. That was cool. Next, she took pictures of my teeth. They were called x-rays, just like Super Critter's x-ray vision. Then the dentist came in. He looked inside my mouth with a little mirror on a stick. The pictures of my teeth were ready, so the dentist called in my mom, and we all looked at the pictures of my teeth. The dentist said I had one cavity and that he could fix it right then. They put me back in the dentist chair. The dentist told me he was going to give me something so I wouldn't feel anything. Oh dear, he looks a little worried. Do you know why? The dentist is going to give him a shot in his mouth. I closed my eyes real tight and counted to 10. Before I knew it, the dentist said it was all over. I hardly felt anything. Yuck, then my mouth went numb. It was weird. I couldn't even feel my tongue. Then the dentist said he was going to drill a hole in my tooth and clean out my cavity. There was a lot of noise in my mouth, but it didn't hurt. When the dentist finished, he sent me out to my mom. The nurse gave me a lollipop for free. You know, going to the dentist wasn't so bad. It just made me tired. Have you ever had to have a cavity filled? I know some of my friends have, and it happens. That's why we brush our teeth. We brush our teeth so we can try to not get any cavities. Sometimes, even though you do that every day and you take really good care of your teeth, cavities just happen. It's okay though, but we want to take care of our teeth because we get 2 teeth, right? You get your baby teeth, which you all have, and then you'll get your second teeth, which some people are starting to get. Our teeth fall out, right? And then the tooth fairy comes. Pretty cool. All right, here's one. Wendy Helps Out. That Wendy's a good helper. There she is. Achoo! Someone has a cold. Who is it? It's Bob. Here are pictures here so you can help me read the book if you like. Who will help us fix the road? It's a picture of the road. I can, said, who's that? Wendy. Hooray! Lofty cheered. Can we fix it? Yes, we can. I can mix that's cement, said Dizzy. I can spread right, cement, said Muck. And I can roll it, said, who's that guy? Rolly. Look, they're all there, ready to help. The machines went to work. Do you know who that is? It's Dizzy. Dizzy mixed the cement. Then Dizzy saw a ball. Look, a ball, shouted Dizzy. Watch me score. Dizzy kicked the ball. You are good readers. Splat. Oops, said Dizzy. I am stuck in the wet cement. Lofty to the rescue. What did he do? He picked Dizzy up out of the cement. Back to work, said Wendy. The road must be fixed by, that says 5 o'clock. Mix, pour, roll. Do you remember why this clock says 5? We talk about this at lunch a lot, right? Because that long hand is pointing up to the 12 and the little hand is pointing down to the 5. So that means that it's 5 o'clock. We did it, said the machines. Wendy cut the tape at, what time is it? Can you see? You're right, 5 o'clock. Hooray! Look, there she is cutting the ribbon. They do that on construction sites. They have grand openings and make it special when things are new and they're first going to be used. The road is fixed, said Wendy. Achoo! Thanks, Wendy, said Bob. You are welcome, Bob, said Wendy. Then it was time for bed. Good night, Bob. Good night, Wendy. Good night, Lofty, Rolly, Scoop, and Dizzy. Achoo, said Muck. That's funny. Let's see, I have one more. This one is a classic. And it doesn't have shiny pages, so it won't be so shiny at you. Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel. This is a very old book. Do you know what a steam shovel is? There's a picture of one. We don't really have steam shovels anymore. We just have scoopers that use gas-powered engines. So this is an old-fashioned scooper. Can you see how that is? He has some smoke coming out of his chimney. We don't see that so much anymore. Sometimes we can smell the scoopers. They don't always smell so good. Look, here is a picture that has directions about how to work this steam shovel. It tells you all the parts. There's the smoke cap and the cab. That's where Mike Mulligan goes. A coal bunker. He has to put coal in the engine to make it work so they can make some steam. There's a turntable. That's the part that makes the cab turn. His caterpillars. Isn't that a funny name for those kind of wheels? Caterpillars? Here's the boom. They still call that the boom on big shovels like this. Teeth. The dipper. The tongue. I think that scoops all have those parts already. The dipper stick. That's a funny name. The trip line. I don't think we can see the trip line on the ones that we see on the street. Oh, and here are the different levers he has. There's a crowd lever. That must mean come in. Hoist means go up. And swing means turn around. Now we could drive a steam shovel. We have the secret to it. This says to Mike. Do you suppose that's Mike? It's a nice little picture of him. Mike Mulligan had a steam shovel, a beautiful red steam shovel. Her name was Mary Ann. Mike Mulligan was very proud of Mary Ann. He always said that she could dig as much in a day as 100 men could dig in a week, but he had never been quite sure that this was true. Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann had been digging together for years and years. Mike Mulligan took such good care of Mary Ann, she never grew old. It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who dug the great canals for the big boats to sail through. Do you know what a canal is? A canal is when you need a place where the boats can have a shortcut. So Mike Mulligan and some others dug like a river through the land so the boats could go through, so they don't have to go all the way out and around. They can just go through there and have a little shortcut. It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who cut through the high mountains so that trains could go through. It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who lowered the hills and straightened the curves to make the long highways for the automobiles. Because it's much shorter to go straight than it is to go up and down and over the hills, so cars can go faster on a straightaway. It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who smoothed out the ground and filled in the holes to make the landing fields for the airplanes. They need a big, smooth place for an airport. It was Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann and some others who dug the deep holes for the cellars of the tall skyscrapers in the big cities, when people used to stop and watch them. Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann used to dig a little faster and a little better. The more people stopped, the faster and better they dug. Some days they would keep as many as 37 trucks busy taking away the dirt that they had dug. Look at the big hole. Did you know that those big buildings that we have downtown in Providence and the big buildings that are in Boston and New York, they have to have a cellar underneath them. And so you need something like a steam shovel to dig those big holes. Of course, we don't use steam shovels anymore. We use the ones that use gasoline. But first you have to dig a big hole before you can make a tall building like that. Then along came the new gasoline shovels and the new electric shovels and the new diesel motor shovels and took all the jobs away from the steam shovels. Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann were very sad. It says, "No steam shovels wanted." Look, she's crying. And Mike is sad. They want to work. Everybody likes to work. All the other steam shovels were being sold for junk or left in old gravel pits to rust and fall apart. Mike loved Mary Ann. He couldn't do that to her. Look at all those steam shovels down there. Nobody needs them anymore. He had taken such good care of her that she could still dig as much in a day as 100 men could dig in a week. At least he thought she could, but he wasn't quite sure. Everywhere they went, the new gas shovels and the new electric shovels and the new diesel motor shovels had all the jobs. No one wanted Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann anymore. Then one day, Mike read in a newspaper that the town of Poplarville was going to build a new town hall. "We are going to dig the cellar of that town hall," said Mike to Mary Ann, and off they started. They left the canals and the railroads and the highways and the airports and the big cities where no one wanted them anymore and went away out into the country. They crawled along slowly up hills and down hills till they came to the little town of Poplarville. That looks like a very friendly little town. When they got there, they found that the selectmen were just deciding who should dig the cellar for the new town hall. Mike Mulligan spoke to Henry B. Swap, one of the selectmen. "I heard," he said, "that you are going to build a new town hall. Mary Ann and I will dig the cellar for you in just one day." "What?" said Henry B. Swap. "Dig a cellar in a day? It would take 100 men at least a week to dig the cellar for our new town hall." "Sure," said Mike. "But Mary Ann can dig as much in a day as 100 men can dig in a week," though he had never been quite sure that this was true. Then he added, "If we can't do it, you won't have to pay." Henry B. Swap thought this would be an easy way to get part of the cellar dug for nothing. So he smiled in a rather mean way and gave the job of digging the cellar of the new town hall to Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. He's telling all the people of the town, well, some of the people of the town who make the decisions, all about his steam shovel. They started in early the next morning, just as the sun was coming up. Soon a little boy came along. "Do you think you'll finish by sundown?" he said to Mike Mulligan. "Sure," said Mike. "If you stay and watch us, we always work faster and better when someone is watching us. So the little boy stayed to watch. He likes to watch the action going on from the big diggers just like you do. Then Mrs. McGillicuddy, Henry B. Swap, and the town constable came over to see what was happening. They stayed to watch. Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dug a little faster and a little better. Look how happy Mary Ann looks. This gave the little boy a good idea. He ran off and told the postman with the morning mail, the telegraph boy on his bicycle, the milkman with his cart and horse, the doctor on his way home, and the farmer and his family coming into town for the day, and they all stopped and stayed to watch. That made Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dig a little faster and a little better. They finished the first corner neat and square, but the sun was getting higher. You see it there? Clang, clang, clang! The fire department arrived. They had seen the smoke and thought there was a fire. Then the little boy said, "Why don't you stay and watch?" So the fire department of Poplarville stayed to watch Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. When they heard the fire engine, the children in the school across the street couldn't keep their eyes on their lessons. The teacher called a long recess, and the whole school came out to watch. That made Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dig still faster and still better. They finished the second corner neat and square, but the sun was right up in the top of the sky. Why, look at all those people who have come to watch. So exciting. Now the girl who answers the telephone called up the next towns of Bangerville and Bopperville and Kipperville and Copperville and told them what was happening in Poplarville. All the people came over to see if Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel could dig the cellar in just one day. The more people came, the faster Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann dug. But they would have to hurry. They were only halfway through and the sun was beginning to go down. They finished the third corner neat and square. Do you think they're going to make it? Never had Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann had so many people to watch them. Never had they dug so fast and so well, and never had the sun seemed to go down so fast. "Hurry, Mike Mulligan, hurry, hurry," shouted the little boy. "There's not much more time." Dirt was flying everywhere, and the smoke and steam were so thick that the people could hardly see anything. But listen! Bing, bang, crash, slam! Louder and louder, faster and faster. Whoa, look at all the smoke. The engine must be working hard. Mary Ann is going very fast. Then suddenly it was quiet. Slowly the dirt settled down. The smoke and steam cleared away. And there was the cellar, all finished. 4 corners, 1, 2, 3, 4, neat and square. 4 walls, straight down, and Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann at the bottom, and the sun was just going down behind the hill. "Hooray!" shouted the people. "Hooray for Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel. They have dug the cellar in just one day." Suddenly, the little boy said, "How are they going to get out?" "That's right," said Mrs. McGillicuddy to Henry B. Swap. "How is he going to get his steam shovel out?" Henry B. Swap didn't answer, but he smiled in a rather mean way. Then everybody said, "How are they going to get out?" "Hi, Mike Mulligan, how are you going to get out? How are you going to get your steam shovel out?" Mike Mulligan looked around at the 4 square walls and the 4 square corners, and he said, "We've dug so fast and we've dug so well that we've quite forgotten to leave a way out." Nothing like this had ever happened to Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann before, and they didn't know what to do. Nothing like this had ever happened before in Poplarville. Everyone started talking at once, and everyone had a different idea, and everybody thought that his idea was the best. They talked and they talked and they argued and they fought till they were worn out, and still no one knew how to get Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann out of the cellar they had dug. Then Henry B. Swap said, "The job isn't finished because Mary Ann isn't out of the cellar, and so Mike Mulligan won't get paid." And he smiled again in a rather mean way. Now the little boy, who had been keeping very quiet, had another good idea. He said, "Why couldn't we leave Mary Ann in the cellar and build the new town above her? Let her be the furnace for the new town hall, and let Mike Mulligan be the janitor. Then you wouldn't have to buy a new furnace, and we could pay Mike Mulligan for digging the cellar out in just one day." "Why not?" said Henry B. Swap, and smiled in a way that was not quite so mean. "Why not?" said Mrs. McGillicuddy. "Why not?" said the town constable. "Why not?" said all the people. So they found a ladder and climbed down into the cellar to ask Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. "Why not?" said Mike Mulligan. So it was decided, and everyone was happy. They built the new town hall right over Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann. It was finished before winter. Every day the little boy goes over to see Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann, and Mrs. McGillicuddy takes him nice hot apple pies. As for Henry B. Swap, he spends most of his time in the cellar of the new town hall listening to the stories that Mike Mulligan has to tell and smiling in a way that isn't so mean at all. Now, if you go to the town of Poplarville, be sure to go down in the cellar of the new town hall. There they'll be Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann, Mike in his rocking chair smoking his pipe, and Mary Ann beside him warming up the meetings in the new town hall. Wasn't that a nice book? I like that book. It's very old-fashioned, but it's a very nice story. Okay, I have one more thing. Did you find Waldo yesterday? I did. It wasn't so easy. And did you see the man with all the hats? He was my favorite. What was your favorite? What? Somebody didn't have a favorite? Well, maybe today you'll have a favorite. Today I'll read you the postcard first, then I'll show you the picture because it's hard to read it upside down. Yodelay-yo, Waldo's gang. I walked across the ski slopes today and saw some incredible sights. There was a skier giving flowers to his girlfriend, and another with an anchor over his shoulder, and one all rolled up in a snowball. Wow, incredible. Maybe you can find those things, and maybe you can find Waldo. Ready? I'm going to show you the picture now. Okay, look at that. Someone skied right through that house. That's pretty silly. That would hurt a lot. You see anything interesting there? Did you see the guy who looked like a snowman on skis? Maybe it was a snowman on skis. What else can you find in this picture? There are so many interesting things. Isn't it funny how in these pictures they put a lot of red and white stripes, and your eyes go to them and you think that's Waldo, and then you look and it's not. Very tricky. Maybe you could draw a picture like this with lots of little people and make a game for somebody. You could draw something in there and you could say, okay, now you see if you can find my cat, or whatever it is you might want to put in that picture. Let's see. Did you spot Waldo yet? He's in there somewhere. He's got his backpack on. Do you see the man that's all caught up in the snowball? There? Rolling down the hill? How do you suppose that happened to him? Well, I hope you find him. He's in there. I spotted him earlier. Oh, wait. Do you see him? I think you might. Well, remember snow? We hardly had any snow this winter. Wait a minute, I just noticed something very silly in this picture that doesn't belong. Do you see that boat right there? I've never seen a boat go on snow, have you? That's pretty funny. All right, well, I hope you have a great day today. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow. You know what tomorrow is, right? It's cookie day. What kind do you think we're going to make? Oh, you have lots of good ideas. I think I'm going to surprise you tomorrow, okay? All right. Oh, I forgot something. I got some mail yesterday. I wanted to show you. Look, I got a big envelope. And do you know who it's from? It says it's from Andre. And that is Leo and Ezra's cousin's last name. Let's open it up and see what's inside. It's something very flat. It's a flat piece of envelope. Let's see. There are some papers in here. Let's see. Oh, look. It's a red heart. And it says Max on it. Do you see how he wrote his name? M-A-X. Max. And he made some beautiful pictures on it. And look, here's another heart. Isn't it decorated so nice? I like all these little zigzags around the edge. And on the other side, it says Max and Dylan. Those are Leo's cousins. So we don't all know them, but Leo and Ezra know them really well. And I am so happy to get these things from you. They are beautiful. Wait till you see what else. The letter Y. Look at that. All of the things are on there. The yogurt. Oh, it's spilling out all over the place. And there's the yo-yo. That yo-yo is going. And here's the yarn. I love all the colors on this picture. That is great. I think maybe Dylan did that picture. It doesn't have a name on it, but I think it might be. And look at this one. It's the letter Z for zebra. Oh, that zebra's upside down. Maybe he's taking a nap. Or maybe I have the picture upside down. But wait, that Max's name is upside down. This is very funny. And there's a nice zigzag. I love the stripes on the zebra, and I like the stripy zero. Very nice. And there's a little note from Max and Dylan and their mom. And it says, thank you for all the nice things. That is so nice. Thank you so much. I love seeing the work that you do. And I can't wait to meet you. Well, I hope you had a fun time today. And I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye. I love you. See you soon.